Is the market going to keep crashing? Well, I'll start off by saying, I don't know. No one knows, and that's the truth. Maybe this correction is done, maybe it's not, but everyone's just giving their best guess. So that's what I'll do. I'll give my best guess based on my time that I've been in the market. I've been investing for 2.5 years since the top of the last bull run, and my best guess is maybe it might be. Maybe we go a little bit lower, but based off of where the sentiment is right now and how scared everyone is, the fear and greed index finally moved back to fear. I would say that we're probably close to this correction being over if it's not already done. But it's possible that that could have been the bottom yesterday. It's just the market feels very beaten down, similar to kind of what we had last August after the capitulation from like 30 to 25k, or same as like after the sell the news after the ETFs. The sentiment feels worse than those almost, because you have a lot of people worried that maybe the bull run is over and the top is in, but I don't think that's the case. I think we're still in a bull run, which means that this is just a pullback, and we've been pulling back for a while now. It's been like a month and a half, almost 2 months, I think, of consolidation and correction, which typically I think that's enough time. Birds are flying around. So I think, yeah, it could have been the bottom yesterday. If not, I think we're very, very close to the bottom. So that's my opinion. But I just wanted to give more of like a wider take here. I think the people that think the top are wrong for so many reasons. People forget that we just had the Bitcoin halving like 2 weeks ago, less than 2 weeks ago. Again, the event that so many people have been waiting for years now. And in and of itself, I don't think it's that important. But typically, if you go back in history, every time the Bitcoin halving happens, yeah, right away there's not a huge effect. But if you come back a year later, prices are a lot higher every single time. So will this time be different? I don't know. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But people forget. So I just want to remind you, Bitcoin halving just happened. Got past that milestone. What else? The Ripple SEC case. That's going to end this year. I feel like I could say that with 100% confidence. I believe before the end of summer. I would be surprised if this case is not done completely before the end of July. That's a massive catalyst. I don't care what you say or what you think. That case being fully out of the way will be a huge step for the industry, because Ripple is working with more central banks and governments and institutions than any other project in the space. So them having complete regulatory clarity and being out of this lawsuit will be a massive step for the industry as a whole. And I think it will create very positive effects on the space and the price action. So that's 2. 3, we had the Fed meeting yesterday. They continued to pause rates. We haven't gotten cuts, which people seem to want, but again, I always have to point this out. Every time there's been cuts in the past, everybody thinks it's bullish, but once you get cuts, the top of the market, stock market, and then Bitcoin follows. So it's in within 0 to 2 months of the rate cut starting. So when we first get rate cuts, maybe it is bullish, and because people think it's bullish, and we run up for a little while, but then that's normally it. That's the end of the market. Now, once they're done cutting rates, yeah, then it's bullish. Once rates are back to a low point, then they start quantitative easing, printing money, yada, yada, yada. But rate cuts themselves are not bullish. So we want them to stay paused as long as we can. And right now it looks good. It looks like they're going to be paused for a while. And a thing that people seemed to miss yesterday during this meeting was they started up quantitative easing in a way. They're not printing money, but they're buying treasuries back. So they're injecting dollars into the market by buying back these US treasuries. And this goes along with the idea of the liquidity cycle that we're in. We're in the middle of a liquidity cycle right now, still on the way up, of more liquidity coming into the market. This dictates the bull runs and the bear runs. It's not the halving. It's not the 4-year cycle, but it's the liquidity cycle, which kind of follows the 4-year cycle. We have these periods of liquidity where things go up and then liquidity dries up and things go down. And we're still in the middle of that. So I don't think there's a reason to be bearish right now. Then there's the sentiment. Like I said, sentiment super bearish, all while we're still at around like $60,000 for Bitcoin. You just can't make this stuff up. And normally, like I keep saying, when things get this bearish, we're at or we're near a bottom. From my experience, again, I could be wrong. Things could go lower. They could go a lot lower. Maybe we go all the way back to 48K. If we were to break 48K, that's when I'd start to get a little concerned. But sentiment's bearish, and you all know the saying, buy when everyone else is fearful and sell when everyone else is greedy and euphoric. So I think the sentiment's where we want to be. All-time high. Bitcoin just broke its all-time highs. You really think that we're going to barely break the old all-time high and that's going to be the top of the market? I don't. You think that the top of the market's going to be marked with most altcoins still sitting near their bear market lows, just breaking out of accumulation ranges, because that's where most altcoins are at. They're either in their accumulation range still or they're broken out sitting on top of it. So I don't think the market is topped. That wouldn't make sense structurally for most of the coins in the market to not have gone on any kind of run, and that's it. That's the end of the cycle. If you believe that this is the end of the cycle, then I don't know where you think that a lot of these altcoins are going. They're going to be headed to zero. They're going into oblivion if this is the end of the cycle. And that goes along with my next point, is that we haven't had a real alt season yet. We've had like a meme season, an AI season, but we have not seen parabolic price action in the altcoin market as a whole. Okay, on top of all this, we have the adoption that's been coming in with, especially if you look at all the announcements from HBAR in the past like week and a half, not just the BlackRock one and tokenizing the BlackRock fund, but tokenizing diamonds, tokenizing real estate. Adoption is moving quick, and we just need that regulation to kick in, and hopefully that regulation can come this cycle, because I think that will propel things much, much higher if we can get that regulation. But again, time will tell. We'll have to wait and see. But adoption is picking up, and I believe maybe it won't happen this cycle. Maybe it's the next one. By 2030, I think a lot of this stuff is going to be implemented and up and running. They've already had like banks in Japan say like every bank in Japan will be using XRP for payments and cross-border transactions by 2025. So it's coming. It's soon. Times are moving quick, guys. We're already like in the middle almost of 2024. 2025 will be around before we even know it. Finally, we have our top indicators. None of them have flashed yet. The Pi cycle top for Bitcoin, which has been perfectly accurate for the last 2 cycles and marks the top of Bitcoin, hasn't flashed. It's still quite a ways away. Coinbase and crypto apps moving up to number 1 in the App Store. Still hasn't happened. They're way down on the list right now. Highest Coinbase hit, I think, was like 40 or something when we were at all-time highs. But not even close to that being a signal. And then just generally friends and family and people asking about crypto. I've hardly had any of that. Like, sure, a few here and there have started to ask, but it's not like those last times of euphoria where everyone and their mother knows about Bitcoin and Dogecoin, and they're asking that one person about this coin and what should I invest in. It's just, we're not at that stage of insane euphoria and interest in the market yet, which has indicated the past 2 cycle tops. So I think that's where we're at. I'm excited. I think this is a very exciting time to be in the market. I was very happy with this little pullback we got. I was able to take some more risk and throw some more money in and get my positions all to where I want them to be. I feel very locked, very loaded, very ready to go. Like I made a little short yesterday just saying like I'm grateful that I even have this opportunity, that God's given this chance to invest in these assets and these technologies so early on and before they've really seen their growth and their expansion and real world adoption fully take place and fully realized. So I'm very grateful and I'm very happy that I could get the positions that I have and set myself up for the future. At least I believe so. Again, there's no guarantees. Maybe it all goes to zero. Maybe it all goes to shit and we're all being fooled. But more likely than not, I don't think that's the case. I think we've done our research and we see where things are headed. And I believe that this is true and that this is where things are going. And again, if it's not, that's something that I'll have to accept, and that's okay. It's a risk I'm willing to take. And if you're here, I think it's a risk you're willing to take too. So I'll wrap it up today. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, just more of a little candid talk about what's going on, a little clickbait on the title and the thumbnail just to get you in here. But if you did enjoy, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Almost to that 1,000 subscriber mark. Gonna hit it before I head to Thailand at the end of this month. It's May now. 3 weeks to go and I'm out of here. So super exciting stuff. And thank you all for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.